Guys, as you can see, we're up at Baker's Narrows Lodge in northern part of Manitoba. We're up here. This is one of the most anticipated trips of the whole year. We're up here chasing big lakers. The guys have already hit the lake. I got to get going. Come along on this trip. We're in chase of big lake trout. We'll see you on the water.
Addiction, the fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. An addiction is not desirable. It is something that overtakes your life. What happens when an addiction cannot be stopped? An addiction is stronger than any one drug with only one cure. The cure is not rehab. It is not medication. It is not a counselor. The only cure for us is the water beneath our feet, the rod in our hands, the anticipation of that next big bite, and the camaraderie we all share. This is Fish Addictions TV.
Fish Addictions TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear and the rest of our fine sponsors.
Ever since I found out that we were going to be making a trip up to Manitoba to target lake trout, I've had it on the calendar, I've been excited for it, and I've been unable to focus on anything else but lake trout. And the week leading up to this trip, we were all talking back and forth, and we just had a great time getting everybody hyped for the trip.
Coming up here to Manitoba was something all of us wanted to do eventually. You know, we usually stick like 5 hours from home or something, so it's a big trip for us already, but to go 14 hours from home is something we never thought was in our near future.
So I got a text from Mike, and he asked me if I was really serious about going to the trip on Flin Flon up in Manitoba. And I texted him back and I said yes, and his text back was pack your bags. And I tell you, I couldn't even sleep that night because I was so excited to come out here. Lake trout fishing, I've never done it, never experienced it.
We were gonna pull an all-nighter, but decided to leave a little bit earlier because we didn't know what the weather was gonna be like. And we just had a great time in the car, telling stories, joking around, watching videos, and it just made it that much more enjoyable when you're on the road with a bunch of friends, being able to share stories and pass the time.
When we're starting to wrap up our ice season down south, they're still really in the heart of it up here. And it's just it's a truly world-class fishery and just an amazing area.
When we first arrived at Baker's Narrows, it was pretty dark, so you couldn't get the full view of it. But when we woke up in the morning and got to see what it had to entail, it was just a beautiful place. Everything you'd imagine of a Canadian lake like this, your big rock faces, your pine trees, and it's just a beautiful place to come.
You know, I love ice fishing, and one of the reasons I love ice fishing is just getting on the sleds and really being able to go out and just be almost one with nature. And when you come up here, there's miles and miles of trail to ride across lakes, through the woods, you know, right by a cliff. You just never know what you're gonna run into. when you're going down the trail, you almost catch yourself just like in awe as you're driving by all this awesome scenery. First hookup. Anticipation is killing everybody as we're just standing here just waiting. We just saw a big one on camera, so we're hoping it's that one because it was a massive fish.
I've never fished for lake trout, so I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what the bite is like, how they bite. And this one came in and I set the hook and I fought it for probably 25 minutes, and I'm a little bit nervous because I don't really know what I'm doing, and it kept running and I fought it and fought it. Hit the ice and it came off, and I've never been so disappointed in myself for a long time. That was just really heartbreaking. I really took it to heart for like almost 3 hours, 4 hours, and then I shook it off and I'm like, get over it. You can't do anything about it, so move on. So, but it was pretty cool. I wish I could have saw the fish on video.
Manitoba, Canada's heart beats.
Oh, just came off.
Colt and I always have a good time fishing together. It really doesn't matter whether the fish are biting or not. One thing we both wholeheartedly believe in is a good attitude will bring good things, and most of the time it's true. Oh, there was fish down there lackadaisical. All of a sudden the demeanor changed. They were ripping around like sharks, and this one just comes in, juices it.
Coming.
Backing. Yep. That's good fish. That's a good fish,
Not
dude.
bad, yeah.
Not too bad. I don't care what trout you catch up here. They battle right to the end.
Just healthy fish too.
Just that fish right there is just rip and drag back down to the bottom. I mean, we're seeing bigger ones, but I mean, this is a good fish, and they battle. And I don't care which one they are, they get you jacked up.
Yeah, we were seeing them on the camera. We had that down for a while, and there was 3-4 of them at a time cruising around, you know, eating the chum and stuff. And all of a sudden, the switch flipped and he crushed you. Yeah, I mean, we spend a lot of hours laker fishing, Ontario, basically most of the time. And coming up here with Fish Addictions, I mean, we're 14 hours from home right now, and it's something we've been wanting to do forever, is come up here to Manitoba and experience what the residents can every day. It's phenomenal.
It's absolutely gorgeous here too.
Yeah.
I was sitting with Anthony and I looked at him and I said, I think I got a bite. And he's like, looked at me and was like, set the hook. That was the first one I've ever caught. So it was pretty cool.
Here he
Still
comes.
there? Is he still there?
Look at that.
My first laker!
Awesome job,
my
Nancy. The fish just inhaled that jig.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Redemption.
Yeah, let's get him unhooked. We'll
Yes.
get a picture of you and your first fish. And
Yes, absolutely.
that fish just came in and crushed you, huh?
Just crushed it. I was like, there's a little tap. I think I had a bite. I was like,
Must have
maybe.
just came in up off the bottom and just crushed it.
He didn't even show up on my Markham at all.
Awesome.
He just came in and bam, and
There we go.
first laker.
Nice.
Chunker.
Where you at? It's windy out, so we're all set up in houses. That's a beautiful fish. You know, one of the things that we maybe lose track of down in the States is the awesome late ice opportunities that Manitoba has. We're up here at Baker's Narrows Lodge taking advantage of probably the last weeks of our ice season. There's still a good month or so or even more of ice fishing that takes place up here. Just an absolute beautiful fish. I'm gonna get them back right away quick and we'll talk a little bit more about what just happened. Now guys, we all know that there's great fishing all summer long up in Canada, and many of us, thousands of us, take adventures up into Canada. But I think what gets forgotten is as soon as the ice hits, you know, we've got great fishing all year long down in the States. But one thing we have to remember, like I just said, is there's great fishing in Manitoba. Go north, young man. There'll be lakers and pike and walleyes and all that stuff. Us ice heads never want the ice to leave, so what do? We'll chase it north. That's what we're doing here, getting on the lakers. It's been an awesome trip so far. We're gonna get back at it. We still got more time. Let's put more fish on the ice.
Stick with us for more Fish Addictions TV.
Out here, speed is everything. The new Eskimo rocket runs fast, spins fast, cuts fast. Engineered from the ground up with an engine designed to run at optimal RPMs, giving you its fullest potential within its power band. The bulletproof all-metal transmission is geared to spin fast. The precision-based cutting head effortlessly cuts fast. Nobody sells more powered ice augers than Eskimo. Get assurance. Get reliability. Get Eskimo.
No matter what you're chasing on the ice this winter, Acme Tackle has you covered. From the innovative Hyper Glide and Hyper Rattle series to legendary Castmaster, Rattle Master, and Sidewinder spoons, or the all-new professional grade tungsten series, Acme Tackle has what you need. Visit acmetackle.com to check out our full product assortment. Acme Tackle rattles louder, glides further, and glows brighter. Get hooked up with Acme Tackle.
Reed's Family Outdoor Outfitters is the #1 ice fishing headquarters. We have everything you need, from today's firearms to the latest fishing electronics and the hottest footwear and outdoor apparel. We only carry the best brands at the best prices. Have a question? No problem. We have the most knowledgeable team in the business, ready to answer your call personally 7 days a week. Whether you're visiting us in Walker, Minnesota, or touching your screen, with our state-of-the-art distribution center, we can get you gear when you need it fast. Cast or blast, Reed's has the best service, best advice, and best price, guaranteed.
Cole's Resort of Bemidji, Minnesota.
That was awesome. Like I said, the last 3-4 days, these fish have been really non-aggressive, but it just twitched just enough to get them to feed right on the bottom, just twitching them. You know, there's a couple things that this lake and this area is known for, and one is big pike, big trout, and big walleyes. But what we wanted to do on this trip is kind of expand our search. So we did 1 day of chasing flags, and let me tell you, it was worth it. The fish were snapping, and we got a few nice ones on the ice.
Check her out, eh? So when I go fish pike or tip-ups or anything, I usually like to let everybody else kind of go first, and then it's my turn, and I end up getting the biggest fish. And it was honestly kind of cool because the fish actually ate the bait, and he didn't run at all. Still there, buddy. Oh my goodness! Oh! Look at that monster! Oh my goodness! That is a Manitoba monster right there. Look at that thing!
Yep, there it is. Oh. Another nice little eater-sized fish. We've been marking these fish all day long. We're up here chasing giants, but it helps when you get these fish like this to pass the time until you get one of those big marks to show up.
Right.
All the Manitoba is pinch barbs. So releasing or, unhooking these fish makes it super easy, less stress on the fish, hooks pop right out, doesn't damage them at all. That's just another chunky Manitoba laker right there.
When using barbless hooks, one thing we've learned is you definitely got to use your rod a lot. Make sure that thing is bent right over, and having all of the backbone pulled out of your rod or right to your backbone, it gives you, when it shakes its head, don't let your rod come all the way up to neutral, because if there's any slack at all, those hooks will pop like that. So just a lot of pressure, keep that rod bent, and use the rod for what it's meant for.
Great
They are
fish.
beautiful fish.
You know, guys, now we're gonna talk about why we pack the way we pack. You know, there's so many things that you have to take into consideration when making a trip up to the northern region of Manitoba. You know, we're going up there, we've got a lot of room. We've got the big trailer with, you may have a pickup and a small snowmobile trailer, but utilize that space that you guys have. We've got extra fuel. We're going to be driving through the night, so we just want to make sure that we're prepared that way. We know already in advance that there's fuel for the snowmobiles there. We know already in advance that there's bait and that kind of stuff there at the lodge. We can get our licenses there. But what you want to prepare for is maybe the unknown. All of us from the States here, we maybe take it for granted that there's a gas station every 10 miles, and not that there isn't that going up into Canada, but we want to be prepared to make sure that our trip goes flawlessly. Now, what we've done is pack the snowmobiles in, they're full of gas. We've got all our rods, all our extra fuel, all our ice houses, prepped, ready to go. And we're about ready to make that 12-hour trip up into Canada. Now, we're gonna take you guys along with us along the way and just kind of show you guys how we prepared, you know, show ways to make the trip just have a fun time. No matter where you're going, whether you're going 5 hours, 4 hours, and in our case, 12 hours, we just want to have as good a time from start to finish as possible. Stick with us for more Laker fishing on Fish Addictions TV.
Got a decent one on?
They're all fun.
They get to that bottom of the ice and they just start rolling. There he is. Come here, bud. There we go. Nice little scrappy one.
Get the players here.
Choked that bait. Can hold them open for you.
That's why we use barbless hooks.
Yeah, makes it a lot easier to get those hooks out. A lot easier on these fish. All right there in the top of the mouth. Perfect.
Bam.
Nice little one. We'll send them back. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Another awesome Manitoba Laker here. Holy cow. Thing came in like a freight train for how big he was anyway. He hit like a rock.
So we were out bouncing around, looking for some new spots, sending out some feelers, making sure that a different bite wasn't happening. And when we arrived back to the hump that everybody was fishing, I could see somebody waving me in. I think it was Dylan, waving me in. And when I pulled up, as I pulled up,
It's a big fish, John.
All right, good show, bud.
I had these fish and they're just playing with me, and I bounced this off the bottom, raised it up, and this fish came out of nowhere and just slacklined me.
Will was pulling out one of the biggest lake trout I've ever seen in my life.
Come on, big fella.
Serious.
Here he comes. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, look at the bubbles.
Here he is, bud. Here he is. Come on.
Go. Oh my goodness.
I heard Will hook into one and instantly I knew it was a big one. He was screaming and hollering. I was about 50 yards away and I could hear him going crazy.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, baby! Boom, boom! Oh my goodness, John!
Look at the size of this thing.
That's my first lake trout ever!
So much fun to be able to see the excitement and share that moment with him on the ice.
These lake trout are unbelievable, man. Just the power these fish have. You know, it can go from heartbreak to all of a sudden, boom, 41 incher just like that. I lost a good one earlier, just didn't get a good hook set, I guess, or something. But sometimes, plan comes together.
You know, one of the questions we always get when we come to a destination like we are here at Baker's Narrows Lodge is what to expect. Well guys, when you show up to this place, it is absolutely gorgeous. They have all the amenities that a person would need to have a week-long trip and to be able to get out of the elements, have a nice comfortable area to be in, a beautiful lodge, and they also have a guide, John, here, who really knows the ins and outs of the area, and that's always a great thing to have in going to an unknown destination like we are here on Lake Athapapuskow. Guys, I want to give you guys a challenge. I want you guys to step out of your comfort zone. Some of the best memories you're ever going to make in your life is when you do that. You step out of that comfort zone. Go somewhere you've always wanted to go. Do something you've always wanted to do. Pursue a fish you've always wanted to pursue but never have. That is what fishing is all about. It's my challenge from me to you. Step out of your comfort zone. Get out there. Take chances. Fish a fish you've never had. And I'm telling you, you're not going to regret it.